figured it was time to kind of give a rundown after yesterday being able to drive it. One thing that is going to have to change for sure is the angle of those tie rods, because you want to talk about bump steer. I never really cared too much about my safety. I've done, 3 times the speed limit and some sketchy shit, but I won't do over 35 in this thing. The cam that I put in was a Truck Norris NSR, so no springs required. Biggest camshaft you could put in without having to change the springs. The intake is off of I think a 3/4 or 1 ton Chevy van, so there was no EGR. Throttle cable is for a 2000 Silverado. Had to alter the bracket some. Phytech fuel injection, so I just got the computer wedged in there with the battery. It controls the 5.3, and I'm using a 4L80E transmission, controlled by the Phytech as well. Factory brake location, the gas pedal I ordered, it was like generic for a, 57 Chevy. Obviously, aftermarket shifter, cheapest one I could find to control a 4-speed automatic transmission. None of my factory gauges work. Everything else in here works. Heater controls, radio, windows, turn signals, lights. All my information comes from the Phytech unit. Made a 28-gallon gas tank. Rear end is a Ford 8.8, and then I bought Chevy G-body suspension parts and just made them all work. Didn't have to make any more room for the drive shaft, had plenty back here. The drive shaft was, part of a half-ton Chevy drive shaft, and then I cut the front drive shaft out of a Yukon Denali and had to lengthen my drive shaft about 9 inches. Then used the 4L80 yoke and then the Ford 8.8 yoke at the other end. And see, then there's the little shit you don't even think of, like this is for like some Dodge Intrepid, because Dodge and all their fucking knowledge, they come up with stupid shit like that. But I needed it for this application because as of right now, I'm using a factory radiator. So far, it's doing its job. And then, a overflow can, just a random one off Amazon. Had to make my own exhaust manifolds to dump where I needed them because I have no room when I welded in C-channel for structure. The rack is for a 1977 Mustang II. So there's a lot that goes into a project like this. I've tried my damnedest to not get overwhelmed and just take one little thing at a time. And so far it's been, for the most part, successful, except for the car trying to kill me when you hit a bump. So that's pretty neat. Then I ran into problems with brake lines because this is metric and I really wanted to switch over to standard but couldn't find the adapters. So then we adapted it to AN3, which that worked out pretty nice. But it does start and move, so that is a plus. I mean, I consider it almost a success. Got some things to button up yet.